Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Welcome to another edition of Living Simply and Fun. I'm your host, Aries. Tonight we'll be reviewing the Orvis Ultimate Guide to Fly Fishing Secrets from the Orvis Expert, edited by Tom Rosenbauer. Now this book, first of all, is really good. It's got a lot of people in it. Tom Deck, Jim LePage, Tom Rosenbauer, Jack Sampson, John Shuey, Matthew Sapinski, Lou Tabler, and William G. Tapley. Illustrated by three different people. Now the contents are interesting. First of all, I want to say part 1 is general, which goes up to 11 chapters. Part 2 is the trout. Part 3 is steelhead. Part 4 is bass. Part 5 is salt. And I think that's it. Yes. First of all, this is not an ultimate guide, in my opinion. I will contest this. The library brought it in for me so I could read it. It's on my wish list. But it does break down the other fishing things, like for example, bass fishing and salt fishing. Orvis has a pocket guide of bass fishing. Steelhead, they got a steelhead and salmon of the Great Lakes tributaries, which is a book that I should review, I think, if I still have it. Part 2 is trout, just talks about what to use for trout fishing. Dry fly, nymph, and stillwater trout, which I did a stillwater video. This one here is the general. Doesn't talk about different things like what type of fly rods you need. If you need that, go to the Ultimate Guide to Orvis's Fly Fishing. Steelhead is just the Great Lake salmon and steelhead, presenting the fly, and then the wet fly swing. Then you got bass, which I said there's a small book about bass, and then you got saltwater, which talks about bonefish and permit. Then it talks about fishing different types of flies for stripers and bluefish, how to fish them for stripers and bluefish. Doesn't talk about other types of fishing. I basically also based books on the fact that dry fly, nymph, and stillwater is in there. There is a nymph and a streamer book by Orvis, but they're very expensive. Now trout is what most people fish for, but there's also other books. Now, the Orvis does have a book for saltwater fishing. Do I highly recommend it? This book? Yes. Do I give it 5 out of 5? Yes. Do I give it 10 out of 10? Yes. 5 stars out of 5, 10 out of 10. Why? It's worth the money. It talks about various subjects, but it isn't really an ultimate guide. In my opinion, it's just a basic book. With that said, everyone, worth the money, yes. Highly recommended, yes. Good for reading, yes. Orvis makes some fine, good books. They've been in business since 1856. I'm not endorsed by Orvis, but I highly recommend any of these books that I've done reviews tonight. Check out my other video reviews. Please add and subscribe if you like. Please post comments, leave feedback, suggestions. Thank you, and may God bless the world.